Hey everybody, welcome Philly Man, welcome Josh. D Hamels Mammal, I really like green tea. Check out the West China Tea Company. They have a tea house here in Austin, Texas, but they also have an online store you can order from. They have a good variety of greens. Jacob and I are good friends with them. We've done some stuff for them. Check out the YouTube channel Tea House Ghost if you want to see Sohan giving a rundown on tea and Chinese tea culture. Wonderful stuff over there. Once again, Tea House Ghost. West China Tea Company. If you look up West China Tea or Tea House Ghost on YouTube, you should be able to find them. I can provide a link. Actually, yeah, we're still dealing with some tech stuff. Jacob will be with us in just a moment. We'll get started, but before then, let me go fish that link out. I'll post it in chat. Once again, we'll be with you in just a moment, but I just sent the Tea House Ghost channel in the chat. We were talking tea. I'm a fan of green tea. I like black teas. I like red teas. Yeah. Jacob's also talking now, but he's not live. But he was saying he likes white teas. We're gonna actually, you know what? Let's just, Jacob, you ready? We're gonna go hot here. We are hot. I think you are audible, Jacob.
Yeah, and our audience is hot too. Look at all of you beautiful people.
I know for a fact I've seen all of you. I can see all of you. Hi, I'm Henry.
I'm Jacob.
And welcome back to Techno Poverty. We were in hell, but we're kind of jamming with it now. We've been playing Auger Zenith for Doom 2. It is a WAD from 2021, I believe. It is a Caco Award winning WAD. A weird cyberpunk masterpiece, if I dare say so. Jacob, how have you been feeling about Auger Zenith?
Dude, I love it. I absolutely love it. I can see why it won awards, and I've been telling my coworkers about it, and they have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. It's great.
They're like, you say you're playing Doom, they think you're talking about the Dark Ages, right? If at all.
Yeah, if anything, yeah.
Which, extremely funny, Civvy 11. Oh, I'm in spectator mode. I'm cheating right now. I really liked Civy's Dark Ages review. I'm kind of curious to check out Dark Ages, and he does bring up an interesting point at the beginning, which is like, why did it need to be on the engine it's on? It just seems like a huge system hog. As compared to all these WADs we've been enjoying, which are all made from in a game from 1992, 94.
Oh Lord, there we go. All right.
Gotcha.
Are you still getting feed from my game?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, cool. I'm just going full screen, that way I can see all this glory. Because yeah, this WAD has been so much fun. And again, and the music. Oh my god. Who was it who gave us all the info on getting? Was it Philly Man who gave us all the info on getting some of the great tunes that were used in this?
Over on the Discord? Yeah, I believe that was Philly Man.
Yeah. Thank you. Again, I've been bothering my coworkers. It's been great. I have been loving it, which is the important thing for me.
Oh man, Philly, D Hamels Mammal, perfect. Let those Reese's cups get real cold. I like them when they're a little stiff. Don't clip that.
Ooh, I like peeling the little panties off my Reese's peanut butter cups. It's my favorite part.
Don't say that again, please.
Actually, I really like using Reese's peanut butter cups for s'mores. You want to upgrade to s'mores? Throw a Reese's peanut butter cup instead of Hershey's chocolate.
When we don't talk about molesting candy, we talk about books sometimes on this channel. We've been talking about Philip K. Dick's The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch, as well as Walter Benjamin's essay, The Work of Art, The Age of Mechanical Reproduction. We've been using it to explore ideas about, oh hey, a secret.
Oh god. We've
been using it as an excuse to play video games, which are fun.
Yeah.
But also take a look at the way Doom, as you can see, persists and exists beyond itself through very huge community-made projects like Auger Zenith, which are a game all in their own. We're gonna actually push the limits further as we continue on through Hell and play more full-on total conversions in the coming weeks. Something I'm very excited about. Jake and I have been going down the Doom rabbit hole. Our YouTube algorithms are all fucked up now.
Oh man, it's so much fun.
You know what? I'm afraid this channel's algorithm is going to be super fucked up when we just start doing all these Doom uploads. Like, it'll be counterbalanced with SMT uploads for sure, but...
Yeah, but oof, man, it'll be an interesting one for sure. I'm still fighting with just a pistol. Oh god.
The Gothic Gamer podcast thing. It's all Doom and demons.
Josh Foreman's wife votes that we all say that about Reese's from now on. And I agree with her. That's all I needed to hear. My god.
Alright, I'm gonna turn the game down a bit. Guns drowning out voice.
That's fair.
I did crank it up a bit for SMT. I should make a separate layout. But no, we wing it here at Techno Poverty, and we figure things out as we go.
That's right. That's how you know we're live.
Something is setting me on fire. Oh, okay.
Man, tell us all the other ways we seduce our candies.
Seduce the candy.
It's an interesting one.
I'd buy it.
I know. I'm trying to think of right. I'm trying to think of what are my other favorite candies. I guess I also peel the panties off of my Ferrero Rocher. That's very risque.
I do tend to slide the wrapper off as I eat, as if I'm like slipping off I guess a condom, if we're gonna be using sexual language with our candy here.
All right. Yeah.
You know what? I never felt insecure about that Snickers vein, which I've heard is the joke, the butt of many a joke. It's like, nah, man, it's just tasty.
Yeah, right. It's chocolate. Like, but what if it was a chocolate dick? I'm like, well, a dick made of chocolate.
Like,
it sounds like it's chocolate. It sounds delicious because the chocolate part.
Would it still like? I mean, would it still be free floating? Like, it's not like attached to a body. There's no larger context, power or sexual insinuation going on. It's just tasty food.
Right, I'm only having Reese's Pieces. I'm not having Reese himself. He's out of the equation. He's nowhere near this.
Oh, is that why they're an apostrophe?
Yeah, and I'm having his peanut butter cups. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Memo also likes the thick vein on the Snickers. Hell yeah.
That gets back to something like when we were looking at Naked Lunch while playing Boomerangey Generation. Burroughs talking about the sex that gets beyond the censor in American culture, the power innuendo, the penetration innuendo, the gun or the knife as the penis, and the conquest of the female, and all that.
Megasphere.
Just everybody constantly living in high school, chasing the girl.
Oh god, forever. American life is American high school. Forever perpetuated.
I wonder how fast that's going to collapse, because I think when you were like in high school in the 50s or 60s, you had a relatively similar experience to someone in the 70s and 80s. But nowadays, I mean, if you went to high school in the 90s, it probably looks very different from the 2010s.
Right.
Which even post-COVID look extremely different from the 2020s. Not post-COVID, but post-lockdown rush. Of course, the thing being COVID still going. We did just kind of flush ourselves back out there for the sake of the economy.
Yeah.
The great cyclic blood sacrifice, which, now that we're done talking about molesting candy, or maybe not, does bring me to the story I want to eventually get to as we play through this nightclub level. Since we're talking about sacrifice and human sacrifice at the core of everything, it's Ursula K. LeGuin's The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas.
Henry, I found Doom inside of here.
I'm just gonna... Oh, whoa. You're in a cool area.
What the... Insert coin? Give me a coin.
Firmly grasp the Snickers vein, King of Mystery, of course. Yeah, the grid.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Forever.
I saw a tweet that was something to the effect of, I'm not looking at this as a new Tron movie, I'm looking at this as a new Nine Inch Nails album with the Tron tie-in movie.
That actually seems like a much better way to go about
Yeah, that person seems very happy with their life, and I like the lenses they're wearing on stuff.
Yeah, you know, it really is about how you view the things. It really changes it up. The grid, yes. Ah!
All right, how
Okay,
do I get to Tron?
I
think the
couldn't
reason
even
I
tell you.
first was inquisitive about Tron is because of the Simpsons episode where they go into the 3D land and Homer's like, "Has anyone seen the movie Tron?" And everybody's like, "No." I was just like, as a little kid, just like, "Oh, what is Tron?" Surely,
Yeah.
if the Simpsons are asking about it or referencing it, it must be in some way important. That might be how I got inquisitive about like a lot of like just mid-century literature and pop culture and stuff.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, dude, this is. Oh, that was cool. Clearing out this room that was just like bare walls, then turned into these giant video billboards.
You're seeing like all the fun parts of the level. Well,
I
I mean, this
even-
bar is fun. You're just ahead of me,
Yeah.
Jacob. You are ahead of me.
I don't. It's
How do you see around the curb?
It just is there. I
Oh,
just hear
shit.
it.
No, yeah,
Like
this-
Oppenheimer, I just hear the music.
This dance floor is pretty sick. Yes.
Oh. Heck yeah. Thank you,
Where
King
I
Mystery. I'm glad you
inquire,
can support me.
Jacob intuits.
God, I'm just thinking of since rewatching Amadeus this weekend, I've just been wanting to be like super melodramatic about everything going on and make everybody my enemy in my head. So good. It's a great way to go about, your normal working day.
So yeah.
To disassociate just a smidge. The original Coen movie is just a cheesy music video for the best soundtrack.
No.
Love
The
me some
original Coen
Conan.
movie's like good through and through. I'd argue.
But it is also a
But
great
no, that
music video.
soundtrack is a banger, Josh Foreman. You're absolutely correct. I think the opinions can be concurrent. But yeah, that Conan score is so good. I'm just like, you know what? Why talk about Ursula LeGuin when we could just be like, yeah, the Conan score, the theology, like that whole bit where he's arguing with Sobotai over like who has the stronger god, just like two dudes just. That's the prehistoric form of posting. Just two dudes at a campfire like, well, my god's like the mountains. It's like, well, my god's the sky. They just like eat ribs and run across the plains. It's just like, and then we just got swole that summer. Like,
It's like it's like the diner scene in Heat, but
yeah,
it's Conan the Barbarian.
yeah,
like,
exactly. The eternal like hangout.
Oh man. Me and the boys having a great summer. Go back. Oh, how do I? Okay, can I? No.
I assume Josh Foreman is linking something Conan associated, mayhaps even that scene. Like it is
Man, I hope
essential.
so.
It is essential. Dudes Rock cinema canon.
Officially.
Yeah, is it? I can't click the link and there's no like preview for
Sure.
me on this side. But is it the Theology? I believe, or Theology is I believe the name of the track, or at least the scene.
Ooh, the score. Conan the Symphony.
Yeah.
The fuck? Look, marking that. Thank you.
The Riddle of Steel. No, but actually, the Riddle of Steel is a useful way of thinking about the LeGuin story we're going to read, because, Conan's father gives him the Riddle of Steel, and there's no apparent answer to the Riddle of Steel. It's almost like through the course of the movie, he's unlearning the barbaric that he was raised and conditioned to be as a slave. He's finding more to existence beyond getting revenge against Thulsa Doom, which, the slaying of sends him into a little existential spiral there at the end. Thulsa Doom, of course, questioning the Riddle of Steel with, what is steel compared to the flesh that wields it? When there's powers like the mind and persuasion and politics and religion that you can exploit beyond just killing people.
Oh man. Oh lord, I meant to. Okay.
Walking away from the question of the riddle is sort of how Conan matures. It's sort of his version of escaping the Matrix, if we want to use post 1990 one talk about it. And I think in a similar way, I talked about this a bit when we were previewing it last session, the ones who walk away from Omelas, it's not so much you're supposed to solve the riddle of Omelas, you're supposed to sit with the idea of Omelas and think on it and see how it makes you feel about your internal self and what you can do or change about yourself or reorient about yourself to better navigate the reality of the world. Or at least have a more moral understanding of what's going on around you. It's not so much about outsmarting the thing as feeling what the thing makes your personal ethos feel and interrogating that. And also, I found the Doom Machine.
Nice.
Appropriate sprite for the soundtrack, D. Hamill's Mammal.
Josh Foreman.
A Zen Koan. I got it if you want to keep playing. A Zen Koan is a paradoxical riddle or story used in Zen Buddhist practice to help practitioners transcend rational thought and achieve enlightenment. They are designed to be unanswerable by logic, forcing the mind to go beyond its usual patterns of thinking. I like that. Damn, that's really good. I will note that. Definitely gotta note that. Hell yeah. Sending me down the right roads of inquiry here, Josh. Thank you.
That's the stuff we like.
All right, how do I? If I were
how
your
do I
boss,
live without
I'd
you?
deathmatch you in a minute. How do I ever survive?
I want to know.
What is the sound of one hand clapping?
I don't know if you can hear that, Josh, but that's what it is.
Okay.
It's not very loud, though.
I know I saw a red door around here. But we have the red key now. I fetched it from a dark stairwell.
Oh, excellent.
And I saw a red
Oh, there's
door.
the exit. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, did you see the exit? Oh.
Yeah, it's in the the little U-shaped hallway.
Oh, I'm here with you.
Okay.
Is that the exit? Should I hit it?
Oh no. No, let's kill these guys first. They don't deserve to live.
Wow, that's extremely harsh.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't deserve it.
Well, they're liquid now, but yeah, I guess.
We're the harbingers of death. We gotta harbingers of death for people. It's not glamorous. That daggum plasma rifle. Oh hell yeah! Now I also have a plasma rifle.
All right, I'm hitting this exit.
Sick. Yeah, do it.
Surprisingly short. Like, I guess UAC Ultra kind of scarred us with its size.
It truly. Oh, I got Barney sitting next to me, but she's very sleepy today.
Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. What is this sound? I'm gonna actually turn this down a little more.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Mind blood.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez!
Oh, golly jeez. Gee-willikers.
One other concept, the Zen cone was a good thing to bring up. That kind of blew my mind. Thank you.
That's great.
It's another thing I want to bring up really quick is I've been listening to the Collective Action Comics podcast most current season. I forget what the volume number is, but it's their most current volume. If you search them up on any podcast service, I cannot stop talking about how good this series is. They are doing a series on the Death and Return of Superman, the 90s comic book event arc from the early 1990s, and they're using it to explore the rise of sort of neoliberal economics and a shift in how the Democrats did politics in the 1990s. They're using the Superman story to kind of explore the various facets of that history. I really like it because the death of Superman within the text itself isn't the best story. Maybe about a decade ago, there was a pretty popular Max Landis meme kind of video going around that was him doing like a reenactment of the death of Superman, which is a story where it's very easy to take the convoluted comic book plottiness of it and make look silly and fun and do the ironic, like, we're doing the thing cheekily thing with. This gets into like how even, you know, within the text, yes, it is a mess, but the history of what was affecting the writers to put certain things in, and how Superman kind of went from fighting landlords and such prior to the death and afterwards was more of a friend to cops. How the times in history affected the writers of Superman, and it's a very thorough dive into kind of 1980s through today contemporary U.S. history. Really good shit. The Collective Action Comics podcast, the current volume or season, it is on the Death and Return of Superman. Something that's fun about American comics being so blatantly social justice leaning, because the superhero is, you know, inherently about fighting social injustices. Writers will write with their heart. You can find weird, problematic politics and good politics all throughout the history of superhero comics. It's pretty fun. Like, some people may not realize the original Captain America Falcon comics were Captain America and the Falcon dealing with, like, a lot of inner city problems, like the crack epidemic.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff with that, but like, comics have always been like that. Like, Tony Stark was a weird drunk loser, but he was also supposed to be like likable, and sort of a challenge to the ethics.
Oh, Henry, go through that door.
Yeah. Never mind talking about Tony Stark. But the Collective Action Comics podcast, it's really good. I want to say it's almost like required reading if you want to understand some stuff. I want to bounce off here, but it does a really good job. It's also pretty hefty. There's multiple episodes. It's not just one episode, but it's great shit. You won't regret it. If you don't know anything about Superman, it still provides context. It's not interested so much in the literal reading of the text as it is the history surrounding it, but it summarizes and provides plot as needed. So, D. Hamill's Mammal. My introduction to Tony Stark, sorry, I'll ramble. I'd love to ramble about Tony Stark, but there's a lot happening right now.
There's so many things
wow.
going on trying to kill us.
It is just a buffet of violence. Just...
Hey, you little assholes. Stop it.
Almost video game-like. Okay, I should really be using the BFG they give us.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they gave us that for a reason.
Oh, this is great.
I'm gonna waste you guys, damn it.
The whole reason I was bringing up the Collection Action Comics podcast, since I'm at a little death stare right here, is in the most recent episode I listened to, which I believe was episode 4 of 5, he brings up the concept of hive mind and the pop culture perception of what a hive mind is in America. And I don't remember if he specifically brings up the Borg as an example, but the Borg is often a pop culture association I have with the word hive mind. But he brings up hive mind as a word and kind of derogatory idea that was painted as anti-American, the communist hive mind. But the thing about a hive mind is you have to be like dependent on a central organizing brain. You know, in a hive, there's a queen. Soldiers die for the queen. A bee, when it stings someone, its guts fall out on the tear out, of course. So the way you're locked to the central organizing brain of the hive mind, that's often painted as a communist thing in a lot of American pop culture. But when you look at the American economic structure, I mean, one of the reasons it's so hard for us to figure out how to actually change things is because look how locked and independent on this shit we are. Like, consider it. I know it's kind of the immiserating factors of our lives, but just think about any kind of debt or job insecurity, health insurance insecurity, these kind of factors that keep you locked into the status quo of the American empire as is, or might engender anxiety or fear if you're to detach from them. That sort of dependency, far more than having a decentralized set of communities, is hive mind-ish when you get right down to it. And so I want that concept of hive mind to be kept in mind when we read Omelas in a bit here as well. Yeah, Josh, Sinners was very good about that as well. The Road to Dublin, man.
So good. Also, I forget the actor's name who played the head vampire, but Jack. I forgot. He was wonderful. He's always a great job of playing.
He is on
characters.
a hot streak. Oh, you know what? I've been sitting on it, and like I do really like the lead Superman. I think it's Brian Horse. I forget his name, but I liked him. I've been as I've been sitting on it, I've been like, no, yeah, I really liked him as Superman. I didn't even realize he was the same guy who was in Pearl. But that's how he got the role, from what I understand. James Gunn saw Pearl, and was like, that guy can play Superman.
Interesting.
That's gotta be pretty flattering as an actor. If like James Gunn, like if James Gunn calls you up, and is like, hey, I think you'd be a good Superman. Hey, AR Berlin. And yes, Philly man, it is a fun field of fuckery.
Much funnery, you see.
But now that I've gotten all the CAC stuff, once again, go check out the Collective Action Comics podcast. Aside from this Death of Superman arc I'm currently on, they have a very good episode on Ra's al Ghul and Orientalism. And it's a good example of the kind of critique I moan about not finding enough of when I go on like Michael's stream and complain about the reviews of Superman and such, where it's not saying these are bad things or to disregard these pop culture items. It's saying, you know, to use them to understand a greater context beyond just the fiction of the thing. Again, when Benjamin says something has aura, he's saying it has a relationship to the time and moment it was made in. So, when examining art and considering the aura of the thing, it is the second half of the equation beyond the work itself. But I believe D. Hamill's Mammal earlier was talking about Tony Stark. I was thinking about this the other day because before the MCU, I knew Tony Stark, and my perception of him, he was just kind of like a drunk loser, but that's why the comics were fun. He was the opposite of Spider-Man for me. Like the rich guy who couldn't keep his shit together versus the underclass kid who has to keep his shit together. I remember it was like Iron Man 194 or something was one of the first comics I remember reading. I forget how I got it. It was just at a used bookstore. I was out with my grandma, I think. But like, Tony was already drunk. Rhodes was kind of putting on the Iron Man suit for him. Obadiah Stane was about to become the Ironmonger and take over his empire. So I was like, oh, this dude can't hold his shit together. Like, this is interesting. As a little kid, I thought it was like adult, but I mean, it was a soap opera still. Just, it was, you know, it was like a comic from the late 70s, early 80s. So it was when there was kind of some I don't know if that's the Silver Age or the Bronze Age kind of. I think it's Bronze Age is what I'm thinking of. There was like some hokey, campy aspirations of maturity to it that I, as like a 9-year-old, was like, oh, this is serious business. But yeah, I thought he was a weird, affable, kind of like drunk loser whose friends would always help him and stuff, and that was kind of the point of it. So I found that whole Ironmonger arc and then the War Machine arc a bit later. Extremis and Invincible Iron Man were pretty good. Like, when it came to, also when like Civil War, the actual Civil War in the comics happened, Iron Man was a huge antagonistic force to Peter Parker during the Civil War, and that was interesting to me as well. And felt like a natural progression of like drunk idiot making wrong choices all the time and eventually needing everyone else to bring him back. I think the MCU tried to do a weird even-handed sidesing two Goliaths fighting each other thing in Civil War, when the smarter thing to do is to make Tony the absolute villain. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but I wasn't very impressed by it, ultimately. But I think the aspiration or the dream of Tony Stark is that you can be like you can fix Omelas in a way. That seems to be kind of Tony Stark's function, is he is trying to make a good version of the status quo. That may also be why he doesn't have, I don't know if he has as many interesting arcs or runs as other Marvel characters. But the ones I do think of are ones where he's on the losing end and more pressed or challenged. CJ the X made a post a while back about how us artists are working for Trump paradigm made me so sad. Like, yes, artists define that guy. Why that guy? Seriously, that guy? Yeah, really, why Donald Trump?
No one knows. Man.
It is frustrating as far as like the, I don't know, it's where I start getting into tinfoil hat with like, to what degree are they just kind of letting him get away with it? And I don't want to get all into the specifics of like who is it that I am applying that to. I just like who's really controlling the bounds of society here, and why is this within permissible boundaries?
I think it's definitely like a combination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely, like, you know, with COVID, how many people took advantage of a terrible situation, and how many people are like, oh, I can make some money off this.
I do think there are people who, just because they're so detached from reality, you can ascribe more to like earnest, stupid beliefs than like a intentional, malicious conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do think a lot of it is straight up stupidity, and
yeah, just kind of like no oversight on anybody else. Like, well, it's just me.
Right. Individual mania. But in cumulative ways that, like, it is easy to assign malice or conspiracy to.
Yeah.
Soul Sphere.
No, I'm getting crushed by doors.
And that's kind of one of the things Omelas makes you think about, or these are the things Omelas makes you think about, as far as like, why does this story make me uncomfortable? And like, and you do react by thinking like, well, can you fix this situation? Is this a situation I could walk away from? It straight up asks you if it is. So you know, and so it gets you thinking about your own mental barriers to what you perceive are your own like limits and positions in current society. And it definitely can make you uncomfortable if, you know, you're in an uncomfortable position and you don't really want to examine that.
Full sphere.
D. Hamels Mammal. The thing with the comics is, I think they're more earnest as far as they don't have a lot of overhead in the same way $1 million tentpole movie with a budget and various producers and studio heads invest in its financial success. That thing's getting workshopped to hell in ways the comics aren't. And then a lot of the times, because the comics are cheaper to print, and at least with the big two attached to like big movie studios and such, so there's huge margins of profits in other sectors that can make up for losses. It's relatively cheap to put out print books that they're not looking too closely at. They're just hoping, they're letting their writers also push the limits and get away with things, because if it strikes with the audience, it's kind of play tested as IP that can then be made into further cartoons and movies. But yeah, I definitely say they are richer, more considered. I think with a bad Marvel movie or a bad superhero movie, as far as like the story goes, you end up just getting rather a drab-looking movie because of the way the pre-visuals and the standardization of the script, story beats, and all that comes. And the way like the action scenes are prevised way before directors are attached in some cases. In a lot of cases, those kind of mediocre things become invisible as movies, but you can have a mediocre story in a comic that still has really cool or wild art that it gets remembered for. I think this is actually why Nick Fury as a character has survived. Same with Doctor Strange. Because there are arcs of Doctor Strange and Nick Fury comics where the art was, for the time, legit, like, pretty mind-blowing and revolutionary, and stolen and disseminated into larger pop culture images of psychedelia at the time. But yeah, like, Denise Camp right now is hitting it out of the park with Absolute Martian Manhunter and The Ultimates. One's a DC book, one's a Marvel book. They're both engaged with kind of sociological and emotional thinking in ways that are quite forward for a superhero comic. Yeah, D. Hamels Mammal, I was luckily kind of resigned by that point. I do think Cumberbatch is a good choice as far as acting goes, but I find both the movies lacking as far as what they can do with the premise. The Ultimates is just like an alternate universe version of the Avengers. Yeah, there's like an alternate universe thing going on in Marvel Comics right now called the Ultimate Universe. And the whole premise is an evil Mr. Fantastic went back in time and arrived in a universe in like the 1950s that had no superheroes yet. And he just prevented a whole lot of superheroes from being born. Like, Peter Parker did not get bit by the spider at 16, all that kind of stuff. So he just became like emperor of that universe. And
nice.
So, yeah, so it does some interesting stuff with it takes place in the modern day where like a young Tony Stark finds out this whole thing happens, and so he starts going on this quest to like find superheroes or people who would be superheroes in the original timeline but aren't now, and like he's like telling them like, hey, your identity was robbed from you, and this is the way things are supposed to be. And instead of it just being like, okay, well, I'll become Spider-Man in this universe, or I'll become Nick Cage in this universe, and we'll just do the old thing. There's questions of like, well, now that things are fundamentally different in this universe, should we even try to do the same thing? Does like the concept of a superhero work within this context? And so there's some interesting social questions and explorations going on with it. Once again, that's Denise Camp is the author. The book is The Ultimates. This is the dude who's also writing Assorted Crisis Events, which I've praised multiple times on stream as well.
That's
Jacob,
great.
yeah, Jacob read an issue of that in VR during our Umarangi Generation playthrough, which is now up on
Thanks.
YouTube.
Henry, what are we doing in this hellscape?
I've been rambling a lot and kind of leaving things up to you, but it seems like there's just infinite demons spawning down there.
Yeah, and I keep trying to get these little walls. Looks like there's a little radiation area blown up. I'm like, maybe I need to BFG that bitch. And that's what I'm doing wrong. Ah.
I will ramble often about these things on the Discord as well. Which one more thing to bring up as we're working through this sci-fi landscape, and we're going to talk about Omelas, which is a weird faraway land. We watched Alphaville recently on the Discord, which is a 1965 Jean-Luc Godard movie about a secret agent who goes into the land of Alphaville to retrieve a scientist. Alphaville is a land ruled by a computer, the Alpha 60 AI. And there's a lot going on with that movie in discussions of controlling language and controlling the beliefs and thoughts of a population through the control of language. There's a dictionary where words will get erased from on a regular basis. People don't ask why, they think only in terms of because. So it's all causal logic, there is no emotion, there is no intuiting things, there's no feelings. And it's an interesting movie because it's sort of asking, what if World War II, when we beat fascism with World War II, what if it wasn't about fascism losing, but it was about fascism deciding, instead of dressing up as race science and Nazis, it was about computer logic and business suits and questions of economy.
That'd be crazy.
What if that was happening instead? What if somehow the aesthetics of fascism, died with the Nazis, but the logic of the system persisted in a new skin?
Hate that.
You know what, AR Berlin? I know of Jack Kirby, and I've read some classic like Fantastic Four and some, what else did Kirby do that was at Marvel? I only know of him satellite-wise. I've always been more on the Lee and Ditko side of things. I've been meaning to read New Gods, though, because I've read some of that stuff out of context, and there's a sort of lyricism to the way Jack Kirby specifically writes Darkseid that I want more of. Okay, yeah, I think I see the little spawn spheres, I think. So I think they're just infinitely spawning from somewhere. So there's those green, so I think, was that green switch what you were talking about hitting with the BFG?
There's like behind these doors, up on each platform, up the stairs.
There's like crushers,
there
right?
are these walls. Yeah. Behind it is this giant radioactive symbol. And like you can break the glass. I'm like, I feel like I need to do something here, but maybe not yet.
Yeah, I saw them too. Sorry, I've only been. So the glass is broken, but you don't interact with them. Is the thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
You don't punch them. I'll try BFG hitting them.
Sure.
Alphaville is also very fun because it's kind of a low budget like I say it's a sci-fi movie, but they just shoot it in like what were at the time very like modernist buildings in France. So just like high-tech business office and hotels that are kind of more minimalist in their architecture and design. So they look very cold by comparison. That was actually a critique of a lot of the architecture that was going up in Paris at the time, I believe, was that it didn't have aura. And so the film uses this new type of like architecture. There's a lot of like looking through glass panels, which is also like a symbolic thing. You know, things are removed from you. There's a screen between you and your emotions. The logic of the system, the computers and all that. The black mirror of it all. Yeah, it is the Duke at level end. I need to figure out what to do there. I'm going to try hitting it with a rocket launcher. You can't fist it. You can't BFG it.
Right? I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. Maybe it's like a second stage thing, but it feels like it's a first stage thing.
I want to ramble about the literary side of things, but I'm neglecting my duties as a gamer and a co-op partner, and I apologize, Jacob.
You know, I just appreciate that you recognize it and you're changing your ways. I feel seen. I feel heard. That's all friends need.
Okay, I hit a... I think... So, there was a red one. Okay, okay. Thank you for playing Auger Zenith. Oh!
Oh!
Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
Bullshit! I just bounced around for nothing.
Boom, 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 boom. Do we get to see a full credits? Oh? Oh?
Oh?
Partial invisibility.
What's going on? Oh, okay, you can walk out.
There we go.
Doom, 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 doom. There's just... Matador. Super Cupcake Tactics. I hope these are the names.
Yeah, same, right? Lunch.
Thank you
Oh,
all
are these the
so
levels?
much, Lunch.
Yeah, Imperial Julius. I remember Lunch being named somewhere.
Frayuko. Are these like the level, like, is it per level? Is that how it's breaking these up?
Maybe.
Woohoo. Long pool. Oh, there's a back to start button. I'm not going to hit it yet. I want to explore this area a bit. Washing machine enthusiasts. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Re-Dead Ida.
Rededita? Yeah. Chris Moyer. Valkyrie Force. A strong name.
Yeah, these are, man, all these people. Wonderful.
What a
wonderful
masterpiece
work,
of
ladies and
mood
gents.
this was. Yeah.
Like, put some stank on that.
Yeah, AR Berlin, aren't they a pain? How dare they be so dense and heavy and metallic?
Real silly of them.
Alright. This has been Auger Zenith. We're gonna probably chill for a moment. I have 2 more WADs we can fire up for this session. Next session, we're definitively playing a total conversion that might be a bit different than our usual co-op setup. So I can't guarantee whatever we start next we finish this session, but we'll get back to it after the planned total conversion we have scheduled. I also will be reading Omelas. I just did not expect the end to come so soon, but hey, I thought we had at least 1 more level in us.
Yeah, I definitely thought that there was going to be at least 1 more, but that was great.
Yeah.
Like, how many levels total?
That was 22 levels over 3 sessions, pretty much. But We
Not
did throw Omelas up in the Discord. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and link it in the chat as well. It's a very short story if you want to read along, but we're going to take a break. We'll be back. It is 8:27. We'll be back at 8:35. It'll be a little short break. I'm going to load up our next WAD. I'm going to get cozy, and we're going to do a little reading when we return. But y'all stretch, y'all rehydrate, and we'll see you in a few.